Hi everyone, and welcome to the Total Film Thor: The Dark World spoiler podcast. We'll be talking about all of the big things in the movie in depth, from the spoilers to the plot twists, the action scenes, and as ever, the infamous Marvel post-credit scene. So if you haven't seen the movie, go away now and come back. I'm Matt Risley. I'm be joined by Sam Ashurst, Jane Crowther, and Gav Murphy. And I suppose the first question is, what was your initial reaction as soon as you came out of the cinema? What did you think?
Initial reaction, I was probably super excited about the mid-credit scene. That was the main thing on my mind.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, different movie.
Yeah,
Completely
very
different stylistically and everything.
Tonally,
Yeah.
completely different.
You've seen what Alan Taylor said about it. He said completely disavowed it and said like he thought
He's glad to
It's
not.
got
really
nothing to do
hated
with it.
Yeah, he's
The
glad his
movie or
name's
the
not on it.
post-credits?
The post-credit
first
thing.
post-credit.
He's really up for the movie. He said, but the post-credit scene, he was just like, doesn't even fit in with any of my movie. I don't understand why he was there.
Pretty left field. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But Jane, what did you think?
I thought, yay, it was better than Thor 1, which I found quite dull and earnest, and this had a lot more fun, but still had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And Gav?
I thought it was okay, and then the more I think about it, the more, like, it is better than Thor 1, but Thor 1 wasn't very good, so
Yeah.
it's
Pretty
not hard.
controversial.
Is
It was
Like,
better than Captain America.
It was,
for
it was better than
goodness
Captain
sake.
America, but then like this year, what we had, Iron Man 3, like
We've been spoiled, haven't we?
yeah, like doesn't even touch Iron Man 3. It doesn't even come anywhere close to that.
I think for me, like, I came out of it and was actually, I really enjoyed it, but then we've had like 24, 48 hours since seeing it,
Yeah.
and the more I've thought about it, the more I've kind of thought, what the hell, and plot
Yeah.
annoyances and all that
And
kind
I've
of
seen
stuff.
it twice as well, so
Yeah.
I really wish I hadn't seen you before going into the film because I spoke to you in the foyer before going in, and I was like, "Oh, I thought you'd already seen you." Like, yeah, I'm here to check out a few things that I'm not quite sure
that I'm
about.
not happy about.
And then you said about one thing that you and Sam had been debating, and all I could think of all throughout the freaking film was, I wonder if that's it. I wonder if that's it. Like all the
Yeah.
way through, I was like, I wish I hadn't freaking spoken to it.
It's, I suppose the kind of the biggest change to the first one was obviously that we spent a lot more time in Asgard.
Yeah.
Was that something you guys enjoyed?
It wasn't something I was looking forward to because I thought everything from Thor 1 that was in Asgard, I couldn't give a monkey's
and
about.
really po-faced, wasn't it? And
But it was awesome. It was
good
just
fun.
maybe it was
Yeah.
having Alan Taylor behind it, or maybe it's because I've watched Game of Thrones as the last one. But it felt like that entire thing, all the battle with his friends and stuff, that chemistry with that gang of people was so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, some of the Asgard stuff did remind me of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it was so
Like-
Star Warsy.
Big time.
yeah,
When
there
they're
was
having that conversation in front of the
Yeah.
river or whatever with all the CGI buildings in the background.
Those robes.
And those robes, and he was doing that weird, awkward metaphor about love.
Yeah.
using
All right,
his-
but one thing, it is
Yeah.
never ever going to be as bad as the "I like you, you are like sand, coarse but not grainy," or whatever that
Yeah.
horrific thing
No,
from
it's,
Star
I
Trek.
hate
It wasn't
sand,
that bad.
but you're not like sand. Your
Okay.
skin is smooth. It's,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, man.
You're like a poet.
Wow.
Like,
That was
right?
beautiful.
Yeah.
They were
But like,
beautiful.
yeah, the all those like little elf guys with like the no faces, they were just the droids, like pew pew pew.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, droids, like it
Yeah.
was really Star Wars. And then like the
And even
flying
the
around.
noise that the ships
Yeah.
made were like sort of Luke's thingy bob. What's it called?
Yeah, yeah.
the sand cruiser thing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's had exactly the same noise. So
Yeah.
you're immediately thinking of that.
But then it did have one of the most badass moments in the film, which is when Idris Elba
Yeah, that was amazing.
jumps on the spaceship.
Yeah.
That was good, but
So good.
The thing
Yeah.
that I just like, I think it was like I messaged you straight after watching the film. I was like, Idris Elba's the shittest bodyguard ever. Like,
Yeah.
he's the shittest security guard.
He's like, I protect the whole world from everything, and I can see everything. But that bloke that just
Yeah.
came in with a Halloween mask,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
There
And I
must
loved-
have been something cut, right? Where because we've seen all these sort of prisoners coming in.
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was a scene cut that we hadn't seen.
Where they were
maybe.
gathering people from different realms
Yeah,
and like we're going to
exactly.
imprison them all and like do some justice or
Because
something.
surely he should be able to see.
Because he's supposed to see
big
everything on
monsters.
every single world.
Yeah, not if it's
He can see,
cloaking,
you know,
though,
Jane
you know.
having a shower on Earth. So why couldn't he see that guy coming in with his bit of rock?
I love the thought that he's just stood there just watching Jane in the shower when he's
I
bored.
know, it's like
some
Thor's like,
downtime.
how's she doing? And he was like, oh,
She's
she's,
very clean.
quite clever.
Very clean.
I love it. She's on the toilet,
Yeah,
but
yeah. She's, yeah.
So kind of aesthetically and kind of so tonally, we felt it was a bit cheesy or naff or Because I mean, you made the Attack of the Clones thing, and that is
Yeah,
not
I mean,
very
no,
good
I mean
comparison.
that's not fair. I mean,
Yeah.
tonally, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's because
It
you
didn't
can
know-
see the cuts of it.
It didn't know when to sort of leave the comedy at home. Like, it was just like, it just kept it on and on with these little quips and stuff. And it doesn't really work for those characters, I don't think.
I don't know about that. No.
I think you have to have that because it's
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
a guy with a hammer and a cape who's like he's quite ridiculous. So
Yeah.
if you had it completely, he'd be more ridiculous if it was po-faced all the time. You have to have that fun.
But when there was really, really dark scenes, it'd be followed by like a light scene, like instantly almost, like or something
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
that would happen. And I just think, give us a little bit of time to deal with the dark stuff.
We'll go on because there's quite a pivotal kind of example of that in a
Yeah.
bit, which we'll go on to. But in regards to, obviously the first one was all about Thor coming down to Earth, and that's where the humour was. In this one, we saw Jane go to Asgard. Do you
Yeah.
think that was successful? Do you think
no,
it
because
was-
she unfortunately is a dull character. She's just unlikable. So you don't care. You don't get any sense of wonder from her. She's
No.
just like, oh, right, how are you doing, Thor's dad? Cheeking off you in your own palace and sort of a bit miserable and not really... You didn't get that sort of
She
wonder
seemed-
or joy from her that,
Yeah.
wow, I'm in another flipping realm. It's
Especially
like-
as an
Yeah.
astrophysicist,
Yeah,
you
you'd
think
be
like, you know, I've taken you halfway across different dimensions.
Yeah.
She seems all right with the situation. She's just like,
She has one good line in the whole film, and that's, "Oh, you told your dad about me."
Yeah,
that
That's
was
that.
nice.
I mean, that's
That
a
was
great
cool.
line. But the rest of it, she might as well not been there.
Yeah.
Why does Thor love her?
yeah,
She-
that's
yeah.
the thing.
She's
This
a-
is the thing
yeah.
that I don't
He's,
get.
you know, in the post-credit scene, the very
Yeah.
final scene, it's made clear that he's moved to Earth and
Yeah.
to London to
Yeah.
be with her.
Yeah.
Why? Literally, why?
He really liked being on the tube. That's what that's what he
Love
liked.
the transport system.
But yeah, that's the thing with her, and I felt really bad, and I felt really bad for just females in general, because the most interesting female character is sort of brushed to the side
Yeah.
after the first like couple of things, because he's such a
That's
strong
Sif.
character,
Yeah.
Sif.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
She's
see her
great.
being totally kick-ass. She's got this
Yeah.
great relationship with Thor. She understands him.
Yeah,
completely.
They have
yeah.
history together. Jane turns up.
Not to make it super nerdy, but it's kind
Yeah.
of similar to the Superman Wonder Woman thing, as in like they're kind of two equals and it makes sense to
Yeah.
be together, but they're not.
Yeah.
So
I,
I don't know.
that is fair enough, but I just thought like, you know, Jane's meant to be this, you know, rich, super smart like astrophysicist. As soon as Thor comes on, she turns into an absolute idiot. He's like, oh god, it's Thor. You think like he'd be attracted? Why would he be attracted to that? He's got women doing that to him all the time. Like, you think to be attracted to her, you want him to be, you know, she'd want it to be like a strong character.
She is pretty smart. I mean, she uses
She
lots
is,
of
but she
long
tries-
words
But she's
like
also- But she's
discombobulation.
also a little bit
and-
like 1940s heroin. She's just like slapping people around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how dare you? And it's like, who does that? You know, it's just a bit weird.
And then she's basically a damsel in distress
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
like 70%
That's
of
the thing,
film.
when she gets infected with that ether stuff,
The
I was like,
ether.
right, here we go. She's going to be kick-ass. It's going to be like
Yeah.
a phoenix
She's gonna be
transformation.
like a female
no, she
Malekith.
faints all the time.
She's just,
Yeah.
and faints really sort of,
There
Yeah.
was one other female character who was pretty badass, which was Rene Russo.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
She
that
was
was, that was
awesome.
great seeing her
Yeah.
snaffle a sword and go about, you know, killing people and
She
kicking
really,
ass.
like, she probably give Malekith like one of the best run for his
Yeah.
money. Like,
kicked the crap out of him.
she was better at beating him up than Thor was.
Yeah.
That was really, really
And she's
good.
so like assured that when she
Yeah.
tells him, "I will never tell you," he goes,
Yeah.
"I believe you," and there's no other alternative but what he does to her because she's
that
totally
really,
strong.
Yeah.
I didn't like her death. I was like, what? I know it had to happen, but I was gutted by that.
I felt kind of echoes of, you obviously made the comparison with Game of Thrones, Alan Taylor.
Yeah.
I felt that
Yeah.
there. Strong female character
Yeah.
goes out in kind of a shocking way. And then the way they
Yeah.
followed that up as well, the funeral scene, that
Yeah.
felt very Game of Thrones.
Oh,
But I loved it.
Massively,
It was
yeah.
beautiful
Yeah,
that
yeah,
with the
definitely.
whole, you know, the ship going off the edge of the waterfall and all of
Yeah.
the little balls floating.
That was
in
a
the
great,
sky.
great scene,
Looked
that was,
great.
yeah.
And I actually think in context it's really nice in that obviously George R.R. Martin was influenced by Norse mythology
Yeah,
when he was
yeah.
writing Game of Thrones, and so it's kind of come full circle in
Yeah.
a weird kind of way.
I mean,
So,
that was
yeah.
the first major death scene. Obviously, there was another one. Which
Was there?
Oh, a death scene.
Who knows what happened there? Literally.
I think first and foremost, though, Loki.
Yes.
Did you like him in this?
Yeah.
Did he steal the show
Brilliant.
again?
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
Loki, there's no real point in seeing
Yeah.
this film. It's all about
It's like
him.
Yeah.
Loki.
Yeah. Like, when is he
Loki.
coming back on
Loki and
screen?
Thor.
Yeah.
Loki's
Yeah.
dead. Oh,
Or is he?
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like I thought his couple of scenes, like the couple of things where, like one where he reacts to his mum dying, and you just see him get up, and you can't like no, you don't even hear it. You just see him, and then those things
Oh my
move
god,
from
that
there.
was so good.
That was
I'm
such a
getting
good little
goosebumps.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remembering that now.
When the prison riot bit where he's flicking through the
And he's
butt.
just, yeah, and he's like,
Oh.
or when he even has the sort of face to face with Curse, where he sort of looks at him, and even just the slight tilt of his head, you can see that he's sort of sizing up an animal that he recognises himself to be. This, somebody that's driven by rage and evil, and he's just. I think Hiddleston's such a good actor that he brings all of those levels to Loki. So when you're watching him say to his mother, he's not my father. You see everything that drives him, what it is that makes him such an angry guy. So it just makes it more interesting watching him.
And even that moment where he's got this curly hair, that when it was in the first trailer, like people were kind of mocking it. There were a load of memes going around. But actually, in context, that scene is
amazing,
really powerful.
He's unraveled. He's just
completely
destroyed by it.
When that illusion shatters and you see him how he truly is.
Well, that's because you see, I was way more aware of it in this film, that Thor's way more of a daddy's boy and Loki is way more of a mummy. I was way more aware of it in this.
Absolutely.
So you almost got the feeling that it affected Loki way more than Thor as well, which is
Thor
really
didn't seem
powerful.
that fast. He was just like, la la la, gonna
And
go
no
off
one cried at that funeral.
No.
Everyone just looked sort
I
of
guess he is
hunky.
They are gods, aren't they? So, but
No.
Although,
they're not
Odin makes a
gods.
point. It's
Yeah.
like, we're not gods, we do
They
die.
just live for 5,000 to 6,000 years.
the couple of Loki lines. You might want to take that stairway on the left.
Yeah.
Amazing. And your
Yeah, I love ta-da.
Yeah.
That is
Just
my
brilliant.
favourite bit in the whole film, just off camera.
Yeah. And I loved, of course, the lovely interplay you got between Thor and Loki when they're trying to drive the ship.
Yeah.
And Thor's just banging everything because that's how
Yeah.
he works. He's just, like a bull in a china shop, and Loki's like, press it gently.
Yeah.
And they're just having this scrap over this console whilst all of these sort of guards are coming from them.
I could have watched an entire film of a buddy
them-
movie
of
of
them
those
scrapping.
two,
Yeah.
doing something.
Can
Do
we
you know
have
what I mean?
Loki and Thor in planes, trains and automobiles just trying to get on different modes of transport?
And you know what? Chris Evans demonstrates in this film how hard it is to do Loki, because I loved his cameo, it's very funny, but he was over-egging it so much, he was all over the place. And
That was one of the best bits.
It was one of the best
And you
bits.
know what? We're going to argue about Captain America again. He showed more charisma in playing Loki as Captain America playing Loki in that 10-second scene he did in the first bloody Captain America film.
No, that's...
Yes.
Yeah, but it's because they've all grown into their roles. I mean, Hemsworth was really sort of
This
in
is
the
the-
first one.
this is the
and
best
he's
Thor,
so
yeah.
assured in this.
Yeah.
He really
Oh, God,
understands what he's supposed to be doing with Thor, and he's got humour, he's in control of what he's doing with his body language and everything to make it funny or whatever it is. He's so much better. So I think that's just Evans is at the same level as well. He understands what he's doing a lot more.
All right.
There's a couple of really subtle body language moments from Hemsworth. Firstly, when he squeezes himself into the car.
Yeah. And he's like,
Because he does it really he's selling the joke, but he's not overdoing it. It's really nice. And the same when he puts the hammer on the hook.
Yeah.
Just the sort of delicate
very
way
delicate.
it's really nice.
And one of my favourite lines is when Skarsgård goes to him, "How's space? Space is good." Brilliant.
Really good.
I wish I hadn't seen it in the trailer, but where he deals with that rock monster right at the beginning as well.
Because
Just
hello.
another brilliant,
Yeah, when he
brilliant
just says,
scene.
"Hello."
Yeah.
I'm just going to be nerdy for a second. Did you know that's an Easter egg, that rock guy?
Really?
Yeah, there's a race of rock people that Thor fights in his very first appearance.
Amazing.
So,
There you go.
There you go.
Good work,
Trivia.
Ashes.
Thanks.
Nice.
With them kind
Nice.
of going back from the humour to Loki, who obviously
Yes.
brought so much humour to it, but as we were mentioning, also kind of flipped it up very easily into kind of angst and drama and kind of horror and craziness. What did you think of his big moment where it appears that he kind of sacrifices himself for Thor? But then, I mean, what did you think of that moment before the latter bit?
I
Did you think?
thought it was really great, and
Yeah.
from what I understand, that was his original arc in the film.
Right.
That's what they originally planned for him, that he would have some honour, but that was still tinged with sort of selfishness.
Yeah.
Because it is still, his death is still kind of, I'm saving you, but I'm also kind of doing it for a bit of glory for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, I didn't
But
do
then,
it for Father,
yeah,
I did it for
I
you.
did it
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
And so, it worked for me. And I thought it was really brave. I mean, imagine if you killed off Loki. That would be unbelievable, this great character. And that would make all sorts of different things to Thor going forward of that actually having happened.
But you think...
But I think, from what I understand, rumours and stuff, they thought better of it. And so that ending that you're going to get now is a sort of rethought after the fact ending.
I have to admit, like as soon as it looked like he was dead, one, I was deeply upset because it was not very long after Red Rush's death.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. But two, I just kept thinking, what are they going to do now? Like Loki's one of the most interesting Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to do? Like, this is mental, which is obviously what other people have thought and stuff as well.
But do you not think, because for me, if that is the case, and that kind of worries me a little bit, because we had the rumours the other day that Ben Kingsley is filming this one shot for Marvel, and that apparently the real Mandarin is going to come into it.
Right.
And it just feels like with that and with this, they originally had an idea of where stories were going, but they're kind of pandering to fans' demands
rewriting
now,
history now.
which they've been doing so well so far, kind of blazing their own path. It just makes me a little bit uneasy if that is the case. And I think,
but I don't think there's anything wrong with that particularly though, because they've seen the reaction to people just really enjoy the Loki character. And I know it is a brave thing to kill off like a character that people really enjoy and stuff like that, but then have they just gone, no, people really, really like it. Maybe they never thought in a million years that people would warm to this character as much as they have.
Yeah,
and I do like the fact that they are considering stuff like that, but yeah, at the same time, what happens is such a mess.
But it doesn't make sense, does it? As you and I discussed at great length, the rules of hologramming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just by tacking that end on and hoping nobody notices, if you actually look at it,
it's bonkers.
It doesn't make sense.
It literally
explain why it doesn't make sense. I'm totally on board.
Because this I still don't know. What are they saying has happened? Do you think?
I think it's blah, la la.
Yeah.
I don't think they're actually, but I think
this is what I just don't get.
The thing that I don't understand is somebody died there.
Yeah.
Somebody did, because it's physical body, because we know from holograms that if you touch a hologram of Frigga's or of Loki's, that it dissolves.
Yeah.
And there was Thor cradling Loki.
And he went all like grey.
And he went
stuff.
grey.
He
So
did.
somebody died. So are we now to believe that his hologram thing is like a spirit thing that floats around waiting to inhabit a host
mental,
body?
though.
What's the
And
deal?
the other thing about that is that Thor has demonstrated in that film that he's
That he
able to see through the illusions
without touching as well, because when he walked into the cell, he says like, Loki, come on.
Come on, and then it shatters. And apparently he's been tricked. And then apparently he's been tricked again at the end when he's talking to Anthony Hopkins. So it makes no sense.
So is it like the Loki has these varying levels of trickery, and he's only exposed Thor to like a really low level of it, and now he's exposed
his
him
entire
to like
life,
the top
and
ones.
now it's like surprise.
He's been saving
Or
it.
is it that Frigga's powers are now within him as well, so he's super powerful, so he can do even more things? I don't know.
The annoying thing is
sense.
as well, because Tom Hiddleston has adamantly said that he's not going to be in Avengers 2. Could be lying, but he said he's not. So if he's not in that, next film is reasonably going to be in his Thor 3, which is like 2016.
Or they give him
So they give him his own film.
Loki film.
I hate it. I really hate it. I love Tom Hiddleston. I love Loki.
Yeah.
But it's better to burn out than fade away.
Yeah.
Like, if they do a shit Loki film, I'm going to be so disappointed that he didn't get his big martyrdom moment.
Exactly, yeah.
I think
I said to you, I was like, I don't want Loki in Avengers 2. I don't want him to be the bad guy. I want to be something else.
Yeah.
I don't want him involved in any way, shape, or form.
And this is coming from a place of love.
Exactly.
We all love it. Yeah.
Loki fans.
Yeah.
I think it kind of, these rumours of kind of reshoots and re-edits and stuff, it also showed in the immediate aftermath of his death, where it was quite kind of big and momentous, and then it just cuts to them wandering through a cave and Jane's phone ringing and it being a comedy moment.
Yeah,
Like,
she
there was no
remembered
warning.
to put her mobile
That's what I
into
mean,
her
yeah.
robes when she got changed for the
Yeah.
funeral.
Yeah,
and had it switched on.
Yeah. And also, like,
Still have
Thor
battery.
has learned a lot about Earth culture that he
Yeah.
was able to make that gag, oh, well, it's not mine. You
Yeah.
know?
And
He hasn't been there for more than a month.
But how do you know he didn't
tops.
get a pay-as-you-go whilst he was here?
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. This is what I'm talking about earlier with, like, tonally it was a bit all over the place, because you've got this huge death. Loki's gone. 2 seconds later, there's a bunch of jokes about the Chris O'Dowd character, and like, so was it Richard? Was his name? I think.
Richard, yeah.
So who's Richard? Like, it doesn't work.
But also, if we're saying with Frigga's death that you give him a big send-off and everybody puts him in a boat and burn, and why would you leave Loki's body in
just there.
Svartalheim and just leave it? Oh, he's dead. It's your brother. Would you not take him with you?
Yeah.
I mean, this pretty much answers my next question before I've even said it. The fact that we've been banging on about Loki so much, what did we think of the other main villain in this movie?
Oh my God. Literally, for me personally, the worst villain I've seen, possibly in a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Fighting
Like,
words.
he's just not present.
You've seen Ghost Rider, yeah? Just to clarify.
Yes, I have. But at least
At least they're evil in Ghost Rider. At least they seem to have a purpose. I had no idea what this dude's purpose was. And
Genuinely,
comics.
give me
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin over Malekith.
God.
'Cause at least there's something there.
Yeah.
You know, he's just nothing.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Where's the danger? What does he actually do? I can't even
That's the
remember.
thing.
He's
And
just
the thing that I was
pissed
saying
off.
to
Yeah.
the thing I was saying to Riz as well before this is, if I hear Christopher Eccleston give one more interview where he says, "I did this film for the money," it's like, yeah, all right, mate, we get it. Like, every interview I've seen with him, he's mentioned money and doing it for cash and
I
stuff
mean,
like
to
that.
be fair to him, I'd say that maybe there was more to it. There was more to
Okay.
the script.
I
That's
think,
fair
I,
enough. Well,
think,
more
sorry.
moments.
I think he probably shot a lot more than we saw, to
Yeah,
be honest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so if you saw that you'd been cut out half the film, you'd probably be saying, "I did it for the money too."
I guess so, yeah.
Because he was when I talked to them all, because I was on set of this, and also had a chat to them after it. He was talking about how he and Alan Taylor had worked really hard to
Wow.
find a motivation for Malekith and to make sure that he wasn't just a cackling baddie. And yet, what we've ended up with is
not even that.
essentially
It's not even a
without
cackling baddie,
without
like-
the cackle. He's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
storming around looking evil with contact
And
lenses.
he's so boring. Whenever, like that bit where he comes out of hibernation or whatever it is, and he's talking in his weird elf language, and you're just thinking, "Oh, come on, end, give me Loki."
But also, it's like that elf language. That's a man made up that language. That is
Yeah.
a proper functioning language that
Yeah.
a man created. Why? What was the point of it?
The one thing I did like about the elves, those bazooka things in the beginning,
That they
kind
put
of.
their hand right in.
Yeah, it's
sort
like,
of,
Yeah.
that made them.
Yeah.
I did really,
Collapse,
I
yeah.
did really like the.
I don't
Oh,
know.
not the black hole grenades. They were even better.
Yeah,
They
black
were
red,
I
awesome.
like those.
Yeah.
I liked those little red stone things that they had, and they made them like into like the cool power ups and made them
there's
into
only
like
a few
super
of those
things.
though, isn't it?
Is it?
There's
It's
only
like
a few of those because you become the curse.
that was cool.
That was like the Super Mario flower.
Yeah.
It's like, vroom.
No, but that was really cool when he did it in the actual
Yeah.
cell, and there's all the other people going, "Get me out!"
Yeah.
Because this thing is just
That's
becoming.
brutal as
Yeah,
well when he
that
holds
was
the guy's face right up to it as well.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
So even though kind of Malekith might not have made such an impact throughout the movie, what do you think about the big ending set piece, which was, my friend pointed out, kind of like a Scooby-Doo scene?
It's exactly like Scooby-Doo.
As in, like, they're just running out of one door into another one, into another one, into another one, you know, with the dimension hopping and
I
stuff.
I
I
loved it.
enjoyed them squeaking down the side of the gherkin.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was really fun. I thought it was really good because it seemed massive. Like it seemed really, really huge, but also in the same way, it was only a couple of people it was happening to. Like as soon as in Avengers, when like all so you've seen all these aliens coming down, I was like, this is rubbish. Like because it was just like faceless enemies. Like, but it was because it was so massive. Whereas this seemed massive, but I cared about the different people and stuff as well.
I think they missed a huge opportunity there. Like, if you're going to have them zipping through different like
Zip through like
universities
Robert
or
Downey
whatever,
Jr.'s house or something like that.
But yeah, but
Oh,
also
yeah,
like
yeah.
Doctor
Tumble through Stark's
Strange
mansion.
Yeah,
or
that would've
like
been cool.
the
Yeah.
proper Galactus
Yeah.
whiz past him. But really, it's just a bunch of places that you kind of recognise.
Yeah, that's a good point. It did. I just mentioned to you. It reminded me of Iron Man 3, the sort of jumping from like suit to suit sort of thing. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really, really cool. But yeah, you're right. They've missed a trick because they were just like, oh, just another like barren wasteland.
Yeah, exactly.
But I also like the fact that our armed forces sent 2 planes. I was like,
How do? It's fine.
Yeah.
just go down there and do that.
What did you think of all the sort of Britishness and Londonness and stuff?
I liked it. I think it may only play to our humour. I don't think it's necessarily
Yeah.
going to get appreciated in
I
other
like the
parts of the world.
tube
but-
bit. I thought that I like the tube
Even
bit.
though
That was
it's
really good.
incorrect according to the tube map.
Really?
Yeah, you can't get from
Come on.
Charing Cross to
Can't do
Greenwich in
3
3
stops
stops.
from Charing Cross.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Why haven't they done that?
Yeah,
And then they
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
little sort of tube sign outside the sort of Greenwich Naval sort of area, where there isn't a tube there.
The thing I
Awesome,
hate
isn't
the
it?
most about the Britishness is the poster that we've got in our country that's in all the tubes, which the tagline is "An Avenger
Avengers,
is coming
yeah.
to town."
Yeah.
He's not Santa Claus. It's stupid. As if someone's going to see that and go, "Not interested in Thor." Avengers was all
Yeah.
right. Wait a minute, he's
It
going to
features-
London.
and the gherkins in
I'm
it.
there.
There's one thing as well though that as soon as when it came out with London as well, I've sort of got a tiny bit of like London fatigue when it comes to stuff
Oh,
now
yeah.
You've
because
seen Skyfall.
it's in so many
Yeah.
movies. It's
Yeah.
in
Star
so
Trek.
many. It's in
In
so
Star
many.
Trek.
It's Star
Yeah.
Trek. It's in so many video games as well. Like so many video games now have got these huge London like set pieces. And what's going on? What have we paid someone
breaks.
some money or something
great
like that?
tax
Like,
breaks.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And next, London has fallen, or whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah.
London
Yeah.
has fallen.
But also Star Wars is filming here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're going to have a scene set in London.
No,
never know.
Guardians of the Galaxy was all filmed here pretty
Yeah.
much, but yeah, I don't.
I don't think they actually go on the wheel or anything.
But yeah, that's the thing. After a while, I was like, oh, can you go somewhere else now, please? Like,
Also, I know it feels like
It
we're
wasn't
being...
very global, I suppose, is
No.
the problem, because like she was saying, the world will end, and yet it all seemed to be just about Greenwich.
But it kind of always has that, like with Avengers, it was New York.
Yeah.
You know?
but yeah, do you think maybe it's like New Yorkers are watching New York going, oh, brilliant, they're in New York again.
Yeah.
So they're watching London and going, oh wow, this is brilliant.
But was there actually any peril? I can't remember if anyone actually died. All I remember is like a pavement getting messed up.
Yeah,
a
I
bit.
mean, like the sort of naval place will be pissed off about their lawn, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
yeah, and
But
that's
apart from
literally
that-
it. Yeah.
That's a really good point, actually, because that ties in with the Malika thing. I had no idea why he was doing what he was doing.
Because of Greenwich Meridian Mean Time. That was the reason they were in London, wasn't
Oh,
it?
really?
Yeah,
Was it? I
because
just thought it was
of the...
because Stellan Skarsgård
Oh, 'cause
just
that's
did
what
some
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
weird calculations.
Of course.
He was going, all of these amazing things, like Stonehenge was like, all right, I'll buy it. Mount Snowdon. Why is
Whoa.
Tesco
No, but what?
in Basildon.
I got shivers when they said Snowden and I saw the whales on
That's
the
a
map.
natural occurring thing. It's not something that was built by people as a
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, yeah.
I think I did enjoy kind of the final action scene. It feels like we're being overly critical, but we're
Yeah,
not.
I
We
loved
did
it.
enjoy
I
it.
thought it was really good. I thought it was
Yeah,
huge.
yeah,
It was
no, it's
silly.
really good.
Yeah.
I was laughing every time it happened again, and then when that huge animal thing came in as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
That's
loved
fun.
that.
That had a real Ghostbusters vibe.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I mean, kind of wrapping it up before we go on to the post-credit scene, which we'll talk about in a minute. But do you think? So did you prefer it to the original?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
definitely,
I did actually, despite everything I've just said.
Yeah, I preferred the original, but then I thought the original wasn't particularly good. I didn't come out with thinking, oh yeah, that was awesome. Whereas I came out of Iron Man absolutely blown away. So maybe that's why I'm comparing it to that. But it had great bits, but I just thought it was just kind of all over the place.
just
for
a
me.
mess.
Yeah, it was
But a
just-
fun mess.
I just
yeah,
want to see
yeah.
the director's cut, I think. That's what
Yeah,
I'd like
that'd
to
be
see.
interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like to see what was originally intended.
But I tell you what was good is before we saw the trailer for Captain America.
Yeah, in 3D.
That looks so
Oh,
good.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
And that's something, you know, it sounds like I'm slagging off Captain America because I know you love him,
Yeah.
but I didn't think they could make Captain America cool, and that trailer is like, oh,
He
this
looks
is gonna be
badass. Yeah, when he jumps out, it's like, did he have a parachute? No, he did not.
To be fair, he did that in Avengers.
He
so
did,
he's
yeah.
badass. Just he's badass.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
So there are two post-credit scenes. The one at the end we've already kind of referenced. It's just
Yeah.
them snogging at a monster. But the mid-credit scene, what did you think? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now, like I've been going back. I've only just started reading Guardians of the Galaxy, and that really excited me because I can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's going to be up there with the best Marvel film, I think.
And that has got to be the most obscure post-credit scene.
Really
Like,
strange,
if
yeah.
you're not a geek and that happens, you're like, what the
Although
hell?
Yeah.
Where are
Thanos, that if you don't know the comics,
Yeah,
that would have been like
I'd
this
say
with a
that-
scrotum chin.
they? Thanos is more iconic than...
Or at least he looks like a giant, he looks like he's a giant enemy.
Yeah, you can kind of get the vibe. Yeah.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
then-
You don't
and
might not know who he is, but you know he's bad.
But I was really disoriented when it cut to that, like the first shot of the mid-credit scene. Because
Yeah.
it's so different, like you say. It's
Yeah.
so different.
It looked like Firefly. It really reminded me of
Yeah.
Firefly.
Yeah,
I think that's...
Matt said Doctor Who. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
was
so
Doctor
small
Who.
as well. It was
Yeah.
like it's filmed in here.
Yeah,
Like it was like this tiny little broom cupboard thing.
I got a real kind of nerdgasm from it because I'm a nerd and I love comics. Yeah. But the thing which did kind of, you've seen all the concept art for Guardians of the Galaxy with
Yeah.
the
Yes.
people on the team who've seen the sizzle reel at Comic-Con, they say it looks incredible. That
Yeah.
scene looked a little bit cheap.
It
to
did look
me.
really cheap. Yeah.
You know, like Benicio del Toro
And
was ace.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what put me off it because it just looked like really sort of cheap and sort of that woman, she'd like basically fake baked
Painted
herself and
herself
then
in red, yeah.
and they were all doing like ooh yeah, and it's just like what am I watching? If this is the calling card for it, I know nothing about Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy really.
that's
apart
fair-
from,
that's a fair enough point.
I'm like I'm not sure it's going to be my sort of thing because it looks stupid.
At least show a talking raccoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see
Or-
the raccoon or the tree?
Yeah.
But I don't know
Or
what
Chris
this is.
Pratt. If you showed me Chris
Yeah.
Pratt
Oh,
and I was a lady or a man who liked men, I would be like, I'm on board with this film.
Yeah,
Like-
but it was just like, what are all those things? What's that thing in the woman?
Thing.
Just what I don't
Maybe
know.
it's me being this is me being stupid. I didn't understand what they were bringing him.
The
They were giving him the ether.
Why? I thought they were giving me the
Because
why are
they
they giving it
got the
to him?
Tesseract in Asgard already. They don't
Yeah.
want two things that are that powerful in Asgard.
And he's the collector.
He does
Hold
not
on.
look like he's
It's not
trustworthy.
See, I read it differently, but then
Yeah.
you've seen it much more recently than me. I thought that they were giving him one of the Infinity Gauntlet gems, which they had stored at Asgard.
Oh.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, and so, and that's why he said, you know, what was it, 1 down, 3 to go, or
That's
something
right,
like
yeah.
that.
I thought that too, but that feels a bit too disparate because they didn't mention they weren't
Oh, I
in
just
this
thought
film
they were
at all.
just
It was
bringing
Yeah.
the remains of the ether that they got from Malekith when
That's
he blew
what I
up,
took.
and
See, I really took
because
it
it
to
was in
be
like a little
Gauntlet
mini
reference.
version of the ether thing.
It did look
that-
like that.
Right.
But that's why. But then I just thought that ether stuff. We've watched a film about how bad it is.
Don't give it
Why
to a
are you
random
giving
man.
it to this really evil-looking dude?
I really do think. I think
It's one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, and I think that they thought it was too dangerous to have that there as well
Yeah.
as the ether.
And oh, so the ether and the Tesseract were okay.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'm
those
not
two,
sure
they're
about that.
fine.
No,
the reason I think it's the Gauntlet is that really sets it up for
Exactly.
Thanos,
Yeah.
because it's one of his sort of major
Yeah.
plot lines, and it's the fact that he was like, you know, 1 down, however many else
Yeah.
to go, or 2 down. I
See
can't
that?
remember how many.
Then
he's
I
got.
totally
Yeah.
didn't get that at all. I was
Yeah.
just thinking.
If it, I mean,
But it
that
could
sounds.
not
I
be.
think
It
it
could
sounds
just
like
be
that's
me.
what it is.
Yeah.
But if it is that, what?
So obviously that post-credit scene did a really good job
Yeah.
of teasing the next movie and letting
Yeah.
us know what to expect because we were
Well,
very confused.
I thought the most interesting thing about it was the tone because,
Yeah.
like James Gunn, I mean, he made his start helping out on like trauma movies, like
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is bonkers, and it feels like it's got a
Yeah.
trauma-y vibe.
Yeah.
It's sort
Like
of
all the
Twist
stuff,
Star
Yeah.
all the stuff
It's quite
in the
trippy,
cases.
wasn't it?
Yeah, completely, exactly.
yeah.
And I liked, even though he was in it very briefly, Del Toro's kind of vibe. I got a whiff of like Skyfall, Javier Bardem, doing almost like a little bit camp, a little bit evil, a
Yeah.
little bit kind of sinister. I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was with someone who doesn't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy, and she was like, it did absolutely nothing for me. And I was like, oh no, it's from the next film, like Guardians of the Galaxy. She was like, meh.
Yeah.
She said the same thing. She's like, isn't Chris Pratt in it? Why did they put Chris Pratt in it?
There was something a little Green Lantern for me about it.
Ew,
You
dangerous
know all
words.
That's
yeah,
dangerous.
but you know that sort of, it's all a bit.
For me,
Day
It's got, that,
glowy.
it's got that potential. It
Yeah.
could go that way if it's not handled
I
right.
thought it was Firefly. For me, I thought Firefly, and if it's Firefly tone, I'm on board.
So with that in mind, I mean, if you know what was happening in that post-credit scene, feel free to comment below and let us know. Otherwise, we'd love to hear what you thought about the movie and whether you agree, disagree, or just want to rant at us. Please feel free and go ahead in the YouTube comments below. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And yeah, just thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Bye.
Bye.